What's up, guys? I'm Jim Ansell. This is Real Deal Outdoors. I got something a little different for you guys today. All right, so with everything going on, like I told you guys last week, we haven't really been able to do Test Tank Tuesday. I got a house full of kids. They're all home from school. It's loud in here during the day, so I can't really do the filming that I'd like to do. So what I'm trying to do for you guys to make up for it is just do some fishing videos. The weather's starting to change. I'm able to get out and I'm able to fish now. And so that's what I'm doing right now to make up for not having a Test Tank Tuesday for you guys. So anyway, what I want to do here today is kind of feature a hard bait. And the way that I'm going to do that is we're going to talk a little bit about the bait, and then I'm going to show you guys some footage to prove that it works. Now, I can't do underwater footage of hard baits. I just don't have the setup to be able to accommodate for that. That little tank that I got, there's no way that I could do it in there. I've been thinking about different ways that I could do this, but I haven't come up with anything yet that I feel like would really work. Aside from going out in the bay and snorkeling around with my GoPro and getting some footage of the lures underwater, I can't think of anything that I can do here at the house. And it's too cold for me to get in the water right now. It's still pretty cold out. So maybe this summer I'll do some of those underwater footage videos of the hard baits. But for now, we're just gonna have to work with what I've got. So the lure that we're taking a look at this week is a fairly new lure. We just covered it in an episode of The Juice, and it's the Googan Squad Junior Scout. Now, if you guys don't know what the Junior Scout is, it's essentially a smaller version of the Googan Squad Scout that came out earlier this year. You know, the major difference is it's a little bit shorter and it dives a little bit shallower. Now, we really kind of talked at length about this lure in the last episode of The Juice, so if you guys want to see more of the specs on this lure, head on over there to the Mystery Tackle Box YouTube channel. You can check that video out. It's up there for you guys to view. What I really want to talk about in this video is how that lure works, how well it works. Guys, the action looks fantastic. Now, the fishing around here lately has been really tough. I haven't been able to catch a whole lot. I've been out a couple of times. I went one time and I caught 3 fish in a day. 2 of them were crappie and only 1 of them was a bass. You know, the temperature can't figure out what it wants to do. We're at that time of year where it's up and down, up and down. It'll warm up for a few days, but then it'll drop right back down into the 40s or the 30s. And guys, this last couple of weeks, the wind has just been relentless. It's been blowing out of the north, it turns around, blows out of the south. And that has a major effect on the fishing here because we have wind-blown tides. You know, Currituck Sound, Knots Island Bay, they're wind-blown tides. And what happens is you get a good strong north wind that'll come in and it'll blow all that water out. If you get a south wind that comes in, it'll blow all that water back in. So the water level over the last couple of weeks has just been up and down, up and down. A lot of these little potholes that I like to fish in around the marsh, when that water level goes down, those fish leave those potholes. Every once in a while you'll get lucky and the water level will go down and some fish have gotten into an area where they can't escape from, and it's like catching fish in a barrel. But they've been pretty on top of things lately. They haven't been sticking in those holes. They've been leaving before that water gets that low. So anyway, with all this water going in and out, the water level rising and falling so quickly, it churns up that bottom. And so not only does it affect the water level, it affects the water clarity. And we've had a lot of days recently where it just looks like chocolate milk, guys. It's so thick you can't see anything. A fish couldn't see in that kind of water if it had to. But on this particular day, the level was good, the clarity was good. You know, the conditions were all right. We were coming off of a couple of warm days and we had a cold front move in. And I thought, you know, maybe this cold front will get some of these fish biting. So I went out and gave it a try. It wasn't a super successful day, but we did manage to pull a couple of bass out. So anyway, we're gonna jump over to the clips. I wanna kind of explain to you guys what you're watching. The first couple of clips that you see are strikes that I'm getting. And first I got a strike on a moving bait. It was a 6 cents crankbait and it was a faster moving bait. I got a strike. The fish didn't take the lure all the way. He didn't eat it. So I thought, you know, I got a strike. Why don't I try something, slow it down a little bit? So I broke out this subsurface, slower moving kind of a glide bait, and I tried that. I got a couple of strikes on that, but the fish still wasn't taking it. And I was about to swap over and start trying to use a Ned rig because I knew I would probably catch that fish on the Ned rig. I could fish that a lot slower. But I thought, you know what, let's go ahead. We'll tie on the Junior Scout. We'll see if it works. And sure enough, it only took 1 cast for that lure to work. It was just exactly what that bass wanted. Slowed down that presentation, long pauses. I was using a jerk pause cadence and it worked out perfectly. Guys, this lure looks really good in the water. The clarity was good enough for me to be able to see almost all the way to the bottom with my polarized glasses. So I was able to watch that lure and see how it moved. And the fish obviously thought that it looked pretty good too. So anyway, guys, let's jump over to the footage and you'll get to see this thing in action. Ooh, that was a good strike right there. There's one down there. He hit it subsurface there, just barely below the surface, so maybe he'll hit this hybrid lure I got. He just took a pass at it. That was a strike. The other thing I could use is a jerk bait. Matter of fact, it might just be the way to go. Try the Googan one here. This could very well be the ticket. I want to say that water right there is 3 or 4 foot where I'm getting struck in. And if this don't work, I got all kinds of Ned rig stuff to try. This slower mover here, it'll suspend in the water column, and I can jerk it slow, pause for long periods of time. There he is. Took that one. All right. That's an ultralight rod, so I don't want to break it. Yeah, that's not a bad bass either. Like I said, guys, that's one of the rare occasions where, like, I could see exactly what was going on. Kept coming up and swiping at those moving baits. And I just figured, you know, maybe slow it down. There we go. Don't worry, buddy, we'll get you loose. That's actually a decent sized bass. It's a little over a pound. Nice little fish. Let's get him back so he can go get big. Go grow. Want to catch you again when you're big. Well, now we know the Googan Squad Junior Scout works. That was just perfect. Not the ideal rod to be throwing it on, but it's working fine. I picked this up intending to throw a Ned rig and wound up throwing this little Scout. Something smells like it's burning. Whoa, got one. Got one. He just bit it while it was just sitting there. Something smells like it's burning though. I gotta check, make sure my power supply over here isn't burning up. No, everything seems all right. That's a smaller one, but another fish on the Junior Scout. That's a little one there. Dink. I was just letting it sit there. Stopped retrieving, just let it sit. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Go get big, guy. All right, so there you guys go. You know, guys, this is one of those rare occasions where you can see everything as it's unfolding. I could see that fish. I could actually see the fish come up and strike at the lure. Saw the flash of his body. I could see that it was a bass. I couldn't tell how big he was because he was coming up so quickly. This fish kept coming back over and over and over again. And I've had this happen several times before, and I'll just switch the lure up, and that seems to do the trick. But like I talked to you guys about in one of my quick catch segments, you'll hear a lot of guys say when a bass strikes a lure, that's it, he won't strike again, he's shut down. That's not necessarily true. you can get that bass to come back up and bite again. Sometimes all it takes is swapping out that lure for something different. And this is the perfect example of that. I got this bass to strike 3 separate lures. So it can be done. So guys, if you get a strike from a bass, don't give up on that bass. Throw something that he hasn't seen before. Maybe you'll get him to come back and bite again. But that Junior Scout was exactly what the doctor ordered. Having the ability to make those longer pauses, those shorter jerks, having that lure to hang right in the strike zone for a longer period of time, that's exactly what it took to land this fish. So you guys let me know what you think about the Junior Scout. Drop down in the comments section. Let me know your thoughts. To me guys, the lure looked fantastic. It worked really well, and it's something that I see myself using a lot more in the future. So hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't yet, head down and subscribe to the channel. Also hit that little notification bell. That way you guys know every time I post a new video. Also make sure and leave your comments down below if you got ideas for videos or anything like that. Let me know what those ideas are. Like I said before guys, I read all those comments. I take every single one of those suggestions into consideration, and I make a lot of videos based on comments that I get right here on this channel. So you guys make sure and leave me those comments. Let me know some things that y'all want to see. Lastly, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate y'all being here. The channel's growing quickly. Everything's going really well. I appreciate y'all watching the videos and spreading the word. You're really helping me grow this channel in a big way. So thank you all again, and tight lines until next time.